Psalm 115. Not to us, Yahweh, not to us, but to your name give glory, for your loving kindness and for your truth's sake. Why should the nations say, where is their God now? But our God is in the heavens and does whatever he pleases. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths but don't speak. They have eyes but don't hear. They have ears but don't hear. So they have eyes but don't see. They have ears but don't hear. They have noses but they don't smell. They have hands but they don't feel. They have feet but they don't walk. Neither do they speak through their throat. Those who make them will be like them. Yes, everyone who trusts in them. But Israel trusts in Yahweh. He is their help and their shield. House of Aaron, trust in Yahweh. He is their help and their shield. You who fear Yahweh, trust in Yahweh. He is their help and their shield. Yahweh, remember us. He will bless us. He will bless the house of Israel. He will bless the house of Aaron. He will bless those who fear Yahweh, both small and great. May Yahweh increase you more and more, you and your children. Blessed are you by Yahweh who made heaven and earth. The heavens are Yahweh's heavens, but he has given the earth to the children of men. The dead don't praise Yah, neither any who go down into silence, but we will praise Yah. From this time forward and forevermore, praise Yah. Okay, this Psalm 115 is one of the Egyptian Psalms. There's 6 of them. This is the third, and it's the one of the 4 that are sung after the Passover meal. Now, in the New Testament, Jesus has a Passover meal, and it says that before they went down to the Garden of Gethsemane, they sung a hymn. Now, which hymn do you think they sung? Well, it was either, various commentators have said it was probably either Psalm 115 or Psalm 116 or 117 or 118. I suggest they sung all of them because the 4 Psalms were sung after the Passover meal, so I suggest they did sing these 4 Psalms. So here we've got a psalm we know Jesus sung. If he didn't sing it at that time, he certainly would have sung it many times at Passovers. I think it's really interesting, though, that as Jesus would be singing this psalm, knowing he's about to go to the cross, and looking around at all his disciples, he'd be singing things like this. Israel, trust in Yahweh. Well, who's Yahweh? It's Jesus. He's singing about himself as he looks around at his disciples. They don't realize it's him. They're thinking it's God. They don't realize that he's Yahweh. And in verse 11, it says, you who fear Yahweh, trust in Yahweh. So there were people, in the community of Israel who would have been, some of them would have been having a Passover at that very exact same night all around Jerusalem. Other people didn't have Passover at the same night, they had it the next night. Passover kind of got complicated as it went along. So they didn't all have Passover at the same time. Just as a little quick diversion, we know that there was this difference of Passovers because Matthew, Mark, and Luke say that Jesus went to have a Passover meal the night before he died. But in John's Gospel, the Pharisees are rushing so that they can go and celebrate their Passover. So they're having their Passover the next day. So there's definitely at least 2 different nights the Passover was held on. It wasn't like celebrated the same way by everyone. And that's called the Passover Problem. Scholars are trying to work out, how did they celebrate the Passover? Well, that little difference there in the Gospel shows us that there were different things going on with Passover. And so there were, in Israel at the time, there were people who were singing this psalm. Even some of the people who were going to kill Jesus the very next day were singing about him in this psalm the night before. Isn't that nuts? But Jesus knew it. He knew it was him, and he sang. And then in verse 18 it says, we will bless Yah. It'd be an interesting exercise to put the name Jesus in every time it says Yahweh. You can more easily do that in the web version, this one we're going through, because it translates Yahweh as Yahweh. A lot of other versions translate it as Lord or God, so you don't always know. But it's very safe if it says Yahweh to put in Jesus. So we can translate this. Israel, trust in Jesus. What a crazy thought that is. There are Jewish people around the world who do not trust in Jesus, and yet the Bible is saying, Israel, trust in Jesus. He is your help and your shield. In verse 18, but we will trust Jesus from this time forward and from forevermore. We've got a whole psalm here about Jesus, and that's also because it's a Passover psalm, and the Passover is all about Jesus. Very, very cool. Lord, I want to thank you for this Passover psalm, all about you. And I pray the love of Christ and fill our hearts. And today we also pray that the eyes of Jewish people will be open to see their Messiah, Jesus Christ. Amen.